Welcome everyone to the Ask an Architect show. Here we are, episode 6, going strong. Want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor. Nobody yet, but we're hoping to bring in somebody soon. So if you're out there and want to sponsor, let us know. Today on the show, we have Carrie Parker. Excited to have her. She's a past AIAS member and a lot of good stories that I'm hoping she can share with us. So Carrie, welcome to the show. Can you give us a quick 77-second bio, who you are and why you matter?
Why I matter?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. I haven't thought of that one. But anyway, so my name is Carrie Parker. I am a graduate of Oklahoma State University. Go Pokes. And I graduated in December of 2012, a semester early. And then my husband, who I met through the AIAS at a South Quad conference in 2009, we eloped right after Forum and then came up to Washington, D.C., where I live now. And I work at CannonDesign in their Arlington, Virginia office, working in primarily higher education.
So let's start right there, Carrie. So you are married to an architect.
Yes.
What's that like?
We have very interesting conversations and debates. We actually don't really take work home and discuss like our actual work because we do work for very competing firms, both, international, 1,000-person, direct competition, but we actually haven't been put on projects where we compete, so that's good, and hopefully that it stays that way.
So we have an audience of college architecture students, and so a lot of them are probably dating right now. They probably have someone, a super special friend in their studio. Do you recommend that? Is that a good thing, or do you think they should branch out right now and come back to their architecture loved ones later in life?
I've seen it both ways. So I had one classmate who was married to a non-architect. He was a non-traditional student. And so it was helpful for him to have that support while he was going through studio and bring him dinner, in studio and make all of us cookies. So we loved her. We adopted her as our mom. And then I have also seen like the in-studio relationships, and a couple of those are actually now married.
Huh.
And some, non-studio relationships. So it just depends on the person and the relationship and how strong they are and how good at communicating they are, because we all know that studio is a very rigorous time when it's very easy to forget our loved ones and take advantage of their hospitality and just how much they care for us, and then we just sort of forget about that. And so as long as they're understanding and you're very communicative.
That's a good PC answer. So let's get past the silly stuff. So Carrie, you are at CannonDesign,
Yes.
right? So what is it like to work at CannonDesign? What's the culture like? What are the projects like? What's your experience been?
So a lot of my projects are for public or private universities, fairly large, in the $40 million and up construction budget range.
Okay.
Several university unions, some libraries, and then just last year they made me the project architect for our office relocation and the renovation of that interior space. Yeah, no pressure, because it's not like I'm going to be working.
Go wrong?
Yeah, it's not like I'm going to be working with these people and we're going to be there for the next 10 years. And I'd say, oh, you could have done this better. So I made it clear to my contractor, I'm like, I'm going to be on you to make this right, because I don't want to hear about this for the next 10 years.
Self-preservation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so when you're at CannonDesign, are you working on a specific building type? Is there a specific studio that you're in, or do you guys share projects around?
So the DC office is primarily higher education. We do also have engineering and environmental graphics, which does anything from room signage to Hall of Fames and exhibit design.
Cool.
But worldwide, we have multiple offices with about 1,000 people, and I think our firm main work is actually healthcare. And so we actually have a a way of working that we call SIFMA, which is called Single Firm Multi-Office. So we don't really have a headquarters, but we're able to share people and share resources and work very seamlessly across offices, which is made better by current technology.
Cool. So that was SIFMO, S-F-M-O.
Correct.
Single Firm Multi-Office. Very cool. Interesting. So at Canon, you probably see a lot of folks coming through as either summer interns or obviously entry-level employees or emerging professionals.
We have a lot right now.
That's awesome.
We have a lot
check
of
out
work.
CannonDesign.
Yes.
So what piece of advice, or is there anything that you can tell people who are about to graduate or are looking at CannonDesign as a potential place to land upon graduation? What advice would you give to those folks who are coming out into the workforce right now?
Well, so that was kind of a two-part question.
Sure. Yeah, I made it
with
complicated.
CannonDesign and without CannonDesign.
That's a good point.
So if you are just now graduating, do not think that if you're graduating in December that there are no jobs. That's a myth, and that may be true to other industries, but right now we are in a building curve of the economy, and I know a lot of firms that are hiring, and us included.
Awesome. Now we link it up, CannonDesign, right there.
Yep. And so if you are looking at CannonDesign, or actually, let me back up a little bit. So if you're, when you're looking, so when I started looking, I actually wanted a large firm experience because of their licensing resources. And
Interesting. So licensure was very important from the outset.
Yes, it was. So, and as a quick background to that, I got all of my hours out and all of my exams done, and I got licensed in May of this year.
Congratulations.
At my 3-year anniversary with Canon.
That's pretty good timing.
Yeah,
that's
it's
not too
very
shabby.
fast. So I specifically looked at firms that gave study resources, time resources, even just the support and network of other people that are going through that process. Because when you're in a small firm, they may be very accommodating because your bosses went through that themselves.
Sure.
But you may not have a lot of people to talk to because they took
that makes sense.
They took AIAS 1.0.
Right. The community isn't there.
Yes.
So the community is important. Interesting. So what about? So is that both specific to Canon and overall in terms of advice?
Yes.
Okay.
And I've talked to several friends at other large firms, and they have similar resources.
Similar experiences.
And so CannonDesign, we offer, every office has a study material library. I am also now the pre-licensing coordinator for the office, and so I kind of help everyone along that process and train all of our interns on how to start their NCARB records and how to log hours. And so we also have firm-wide material and discounts with Kaplan, and they reimburse for every passed exam, and they also give you time off to take the exams.
Yeah, that's critical. I think for anyone out there who's looking at going the traditional route and that making sure that licensure is a priority, and if it's important to you, that you really identify early on the right environment to land in so that you start off on the right foot and you get through it quickly and efficiently, which it sounds like you did.
Yes.
So I think that is important.
And I was even in the IDP versus the AXP, so you could do it even faster. I know, so long ago. And so.
Do you have any specific tips for, let's say ARE? Is there anything specific that you can kind of give to our audience? Little snippets, a study tip, whatever it is that might help them when they're getting started with the process.
Be upfront with your bosses and your friends and family because so actually my husband and I went through the licensure process together and passed our last exam at the same time. So
wow,
that could have gone.
That's a big mighty coincidence. Yeah, that could have ended poorly.
Yes. So be upfront with your bosses in terms of that licensure is a priority and that there are certain categories of hours that are harder to get than others depending on the culture of the office and the firm. And then also find out what their licensure policies are in terms of reimbursements and support. And then also when my husband and I started the process, we said, okay, their Facebook is down, and very
you had to shut it off.
Very selective about what social engagements we picked, and
there's only so much time in the day, and they're super distracting, right?
It is, and if you're a morning person, then maybe you may wake up an hour early and study then, or if you like to study like on a treadmill and have that motion
multitask.
going. Multitask. Well, yes and no. Just depending on your learning style, some people learn better by moving while they work out.
Gotcha.
And, whereas I couldn't have music with any words if I'm reading words.
So what's your ideal environment? Like that's what you're getting at, is find your ideal environment. Is it something where you're moving? Are you doing something, are you mindless on the treadmill, getting the blood flowing, or are you in a quiet space? Do you have a certain type of music? That type of thing.
So for us, we actually, we could not concentrate at home, because you're sitting there and like, oh, well, there's a pile of dishes, or there's a pile of laundry. There's so many other things I could be doing. So because we'd already kind of partitioned our brains to say we work at work and we rest at home, we actually studied at many weekends in one of our offices.
In the office, interesting. Huh.
Just camp out in a conference room and...
Yeah, whatever it takes to get it done. Obviously, Carrie knows what she's doing. 3 years is pretty quick, again, on the average timeline. So definitely good advice. Carrie, I want to switch gears a little bit. I want to kind of turn serious and then turn a little lighthearted, if that's okay. I want to do a little roller coaster action. Recently, Denise Scott Brown won the first gold medal for... first AIA gold medal for a female. What's your reaction to that as a female in the profession? Obviously kind of climbing the ranks. You have your license now. What was your reaction to that? Did you have one?
I couldn't believe it took this long.
Sure.
And that it took a petition.
Sure.
That was really my main reaction. I was at the AIA convention in Philadelphia when they gave her the gold award, and her husband couldn't make it, so they showed the video of putting the medals on them both, and they were just so cute.
In their house, in
their living room, and they were just the cutest little old couple standing there holding hands. And now on the AIA building, there's a black and white picture of the pair of them, and my husband and I look at them like, couple goals.
Is that the plan? Yeah.
Couple goals.
Hashtag. Cool. Well, Carrie, thanks so much for all of this. I think there's some great tips. I think you have a very unique story. Obviously, you're sharing that story with Stephen, which kind of makes it extra special and extra unique. So thanks for coming on the show today. But I wanted to end on something we call 60 seconds of awesomeness, and it is awesome. Let's be honest. So Natalie, if you can kind of set the clock for us. Carrie, I'm just going to go down a series of questions. We'll get through as many as we can in 60 seconds.
All right.
You comfortable with that?
I'm ready.
All right, Natalie, let's go. Starchitect you most admire?
Admire, well, the work that I like is Norman Foster.
Postmodernism or Post-it notes?
Definitely not postmodernism.
Favorite DC monument?
The Air Force Memorial.
Ah, that's a good one.
I can see it from my balcony.
Ah, Arlington. Wood or timber?
Timber.
Best benefit of the AIAS?
Got to meet my husband.
Stephen with a PH or Stephen with a V?
PH.
Trash paper or trace paper?
What is trash paper?
Negative space or positive attitude?
Oh, positive attitude.
Favorite drawing medium?
Oh, I like my Lummy pen.
Black and white or tie-dye swirl?
Black and white.
House Hunters or Property Brothers?
Property Brothers.
Regular cone or waffle cone?
Waffle cone.
Time.
All right. Well, Carrie, this was fantastic. Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you.
And thank you all out there for watching. We'll hope to see you next time on Ask an Architect. Bye.
Bye.